And what's cracking, you guys? Welcome to the Mango Grove. I apologize, I'm a tad bit late. This was actually an impromptu stream. You know, considering we had some serious volatility getting into the weekly open, as usual, crypto doing crypto things. So I wanted to come out here today because yeah, let's go over all of the weekly opens together on all of the coins that we have been looking at here on Mango. Thank you all for joining in on short notice. Bros Boulevard is in here. Dominic is in here as well. Dominic is setting up a plan for himself, and I love that. Guys, now's the time to be planning. Plan those trades. Zinmi's in here. How's it going, you guys? Yeah, we're just gonna jump right in. Okay, I'm sorry if I look a bit disheveled. Ariza's in here. Hello, hello, hello. Let's cue that intro. And what's cracking, you guys? What's cracking? We are going to be going over these opens together. I've looked at a couple of charts, and by couple, of course, I'm talking about Bitcoin, I'm talking about XRP, you know, the good stuff. Sean's going to laugh at me. He's like, yeah, I agree. Bitcoin is good. I'm not sure about XRP. But no, the good stuff, the good stuff. So if there are any other opens that you guys want me to look at today, let me know. Hey, Julian is in here. How's it going? I'm always so glad to have the main Mongolians in here, the OGs. Maddie, how's it going? Krisha, what about ADA? We'll cover ADA as well, Maddie. Okay, so let's begin. Let's talk about this I want to call it a dump, right? I mean, when you're looking at the weekly time frame, you're like, okay, Bitcoin's volatility is what it basically moved down to right now. So as far as the volatility is concerned, it happened very, very suddenly. If I just take you on over to the 1 hour time frame, and I had actually, this was it, right? This was it last night. And I actually, just a couple of days ago, I came up with a Bitcoin analysis for you guys, telling y'all that, you know, watch out, we might be heading into a fake out zone. Right, and I'm also going to give Wolvie props here because Wolvie, you know, he mentioned something in the last live stream. And Wolvie, by the way, for those of you in the Mango Seed program, there are a few traders you can find there who are just completely, utterly in the zone. Okay, listen to what those guys have to say. So Wolvie mentioned something about his system, which then prompted me to go and look at my systems and what does price tell me relative to, well, the bullish and the bearish signals that I'm seeing on the chart. I'm like, shoot. There is a posturing of price that's telling me that, okay, we could come down. This could be one of those crazy fake out moves, and voila, we got it. You know, what price ended up doing is that we first, I released the video somewhere here, we first rallied and then we dumped, right? The fake outs. So just be aware of that. But I also told you guys that this is not the time to be worrying. Even if we do get the move, it's not one that should prompt you to go like, okay, it's bear market time, this is all going to shit, it's all going down. No. That's why I wanted to bring that video so that you guys might be objective when you're approaching that kind of volatility. I'm just going to go over all your comments right now. Good morning, good morning. Okay, can you check ADA? Yes, we're going to be going over ADA as well. So first, Bitcoin, XRP, then we'll do ADA. Okay, and of course, for those of you who are going to be watching the stream later on, timestamps in the description below. So as far as the volatility is concerned, I think we all know what's going on in the world right now, right? The war, the escalation of the war, and now that, you know, US attacked Iran, and I'm looking at Polymarket right now, right? And so now everyone's wondering, the market is a bit uncertain as to how this is all going to unfold. So I was looking at Polymarket right now, and I think the most bearish thing that can happen right now is on the second card, you're going to see this. Will Iran close the Strait of Hormuz before July? Now, for those of you who do not know, that is the main strait for the transportation of oil, right? So much of the market is looking at this as a bearish tilt right now. Now, Polymarket is saying that's going to be a 27% chance, right? And even if you're looking at the price of oil, I believe I have, yes, US oil is right here on my chart. It's ticked up, okay, but not one of the breakout moves, not yet. And I was talking to Sean about this. I'm like, okay. If this happens, you know, from an economic standpoint, you're shooting yourself in the foot in a way, right? Because if that is your major source of income at that point, no one's gonna nuke themselves on one of their major sources of income to just prove a point. So I'm like, let's see. I don't know where this goes as far as US oil is concerned and what's going to happen to the prices of oil. If prices of oil goes up, that might very well be a bearish tilt. But once again, the chart is going to be your friend here. The chart is going to tell you where this goes. Right now, we don't have that breakout move on oil just yet. So I don't think that's cause for concern yet. Okay, so if you guys want to get the tell on what happens to the price of oil, this is the chart you ought to be looking at. The price of oil, US oil, is the ticker symbol. So this is fine right now. And as far as if you're looking at price action, you're trying to figure out how a market's reacting to this, even in terms of uncertainty, you always want to look at how prices are faring relative to their cyclical indicators, right? We've been following these crazy cyclical indicators that have kept us in the Bitcoin trade since 15K, 17K, 18K. That's where we built the cycle Bitcoin position. And that's still looking great, because if I take you on over to Bitcoin's chart, not only did we open a weekly candle today, we also opened a bi-weekly candle as well. If I take you guys on over to the bi-weekly, okay, this is it. Let's go ahead and turn on our first cyclical, which is the Mango Dynamic Indicator. I'm going to switch that on. Voila. All right. Can I just... Okay, perfect. So as things stand right now, okay, price is still over that bi-weekly dynamic. This is one of the cyclicals. It's kept us on the right side. I'm not going to fight it. Okay, when you find edge in this market, don't fight the edge. It's the stupidest thing you can do. It's a hack. When you have found edge, you've done the back testing. It's a system. You've seen that the hit rate of the system is amazing, and also the magnitude of your wins are even more so amazing. Okay, that is your edge. That's a hack for you. You follow the edge. So now, okay, with the way things are structured right now, based on the biweekly dynamic, it's still looking good. Which is why I came out with that previous Bitcoin video telling you that, hey, do not get faked out. On the next volatile move to the downside, do not get faked out, because you have, Bitcoin rather, has all of this that it can move down to and still be safe within its cycle parameters. All right, Bitcoin has to break that biweekly dynamic at $84,000 for it to actually turn bearish. Right? It can still do this. It can do all of this and still look fine. I know, it sucks. It's not been an easy cycle, but it is what it is. Okay? So now let's go ahead and even mark out the bottom of the biweekly. I'm just going to mark it out right here. Do we have to wait until 85K? Well, we have another cyclical to go on, right? Which is the monthly 10 simple moving average. And right now the monthly 10 is actually sitting slightly over. What I'm going to do is I'm going to knock off the dynamic there. Okay, so this is our range. It's literally telling us that, hey, Bitcoin can get down to this. And the way you read this is that when you're looking at your cyclicals, your cyclical indicators, your cyclical supports that's been keeping all of us on the right side of the market right now, when you look at the range, it's literally telling you that, hey, Bitcoin can come all the way down here and still be safe, okay? And the bull run can still continue. All right, so this zone comes in from around 89.1K, going all the way down to 85.9K, for those of you who want to take note of these numbers. Bros Boulevard says, I told Sean I'm 150xing at 89K. No, that's degen stuff. Because the issue with that is, why is crazy leverage not recommended? Because for prices to even come down there, let's consider it's a volatile move, okay? 89K, what happens at 89K? For those of you actually holding Bitcoin, prices actually drop down all the way to that red box right there. What are you thinking? How are you feeling? Are you feeling good? Are you feeling bearish? Are you scared? It's probably the latter. Okay. Now the issue is that some people, now, you know, trading could be, people look at the TA. Trading, I'll be honest with you. So far throughout the years, almost 10 years now of trading is actually a game of psychology and risk management. That's it. Psychology and risk management. You nail these two, you can be a very good trader. Okay. Now, that psychology aspect is very important because it's very easy to do. I'm not gonna trivialize it. It's not easy to do TA, but TA is one component of it. But the much more harder component is the execution. And for the execution, you need to be okay right here. Your psyche, your trader's psyche needs to be on point. Now, yesterday, Bean Eater, props to Bean from the seed once again, he actually followed his rules, okay? He followed his entire system, and his system literally told him, he was in a bunch of altcoin trades, system told him to get out of the trade. Say, no, bro, it's broken. This is before the dump happened. And he got out. He followed his plan. And he's now sitting, he's so proud of himself. He's like, you know, it feels really good to actually execute on your trade, execute on plan, execute on the system, and to actually see price follow through based on what your system told you. The system told him that, hey, it's turning bearish. Get the hell out. So he got out, and price literally fell over right after that. Right? So now, but consider his position. He's seeing the dumps, but now he gets to take advantage of the dumps with a clear mind. Because consider you're sitting in your altcoins, you see these freaking dumps. Do you have a clear mind right now? You don't. Because you're sitting in blood. Right? So now he's helped himself and he's able to very objectively look at the chart and try to figure out if he wants to get back in. Does he want to build on his positions? Right? So it's very, very important to get that trader psyche in check. But if prices come down, it's fear that's driving this market. If it's fear, people are more inclined to sell. Right? So if that sell, okay, this goes to you, Boulevard. If people are selling right here, volatility is going to start picking up. 150x leverage, it's going to take a very, very minor move for you to get liquidated. And I'm not just speaking to you, of course, I'm speaking to anyone else who's looking to actually go 150x leverage, 100x leverage when the volatility picks up. That can be very, very dangerous because you might be right. That's the craziest part, okay? You might be right and prices do end up bouncing, okay? Prices will bounce. But you know what kicks you out of your trade? This volatility kicks you out of your trade. So you got to plan for that. You got to plan for that fear that kicks in right here. Those wicks, you see these wicks? These wicks right here? These wicks right here? Those are panic sellers. They're like, just get me out. I'm in too much pain. Just get me out of here. So yeah, I hope this gives you guys an idea of why leverage during volatile times needs to be approached very carefully. Okay, so this is Bitcoin. Now I'll give you my thoughts on Bitcoin. Okay, now I'm gonna tell you what I'm expecting for the monthly close. Okay, and if we get this monthly close, I think we're good. I think the bulls are, the word think is very weak, but I'll say this. If the monthly closes over this level, this is the monthly time frame. We're all currently looking at the monthly time frame. But if the monthly closes over these highs right here, closes rather, not highs, closes, we're safe. I want to see this month of June close over $102,000. If we can close over $102,000, we're good to go. Okay, I think that's going to be a beautiful bullish close. Yeah, even after this move, I'm still gonna think that that's a beautiful bullish close. All right, so this is what I'm expecting in the next. How many days do we have left? About a week. We got 1 week left. In 1 week, if we can close over 102.5K, good stuff. Okay, if we close under, then I think we dip further. But now here's the catch with Bitcoin, at the very least. I believe that we could get another tap at 97K. Okay, why? Take you on over to the weekly time frame. There's this one signature. I think we can all agree that if you're looking for Bitcoin signatures right now, it's just really stupid to look towards the previous cycles because that's not been working, right? What has been working, though, is the signature that Bitcoin has been putting in this cycle. Like, it's been very, very neat so far, right? If I go ahead and turn on the dynamic once again, is this it? Yes. So what I want you guys to turn on is your dynamic as well as your 10 simple moving average. This is a system that I'd gone over in one of my previous Bitcoin videos. It's been a while since I last brought it up, but here's the observation that I've made based on Bitcoin relative to its dynamic and 10 simple moving average. Every time Bitcoin loses its weekly 10 simple moving average, so essentially it closes under the weekly 10 simple moving average, you'll often find that throughout the entire cycle, you can literally go back ever since the beginning, Jan 2023, every time it's done that, price has always moved back down to that weekly dynamic to give it an official tap. Okay, we did it right here. Okay, I'm just going to zoom in. Tell me if you guys have any questions or you're not following along. But yeah, we closed underneath the 10 simple moving average, immediately moved towards dynamic support. Okay, you saw it right here. Okay, same thing happened right here, August 2023, closed underneath, moved towards weekly dynamic support. Okay, even right here. Now, we did not close underneath this one. Okay, this was Jan 2024. That was a pretty rapid sort of pickup. That's where the buys really stepped in. But even there, so we saw some weakness around the 10 simple moving average where the prices moved down to. Once again, weekly dynamic support. We saw the same thing happen right here. This was April 2024, moved down to dynamic support. Same thing right here, dynamic support. You guys are getting the picture, right? That's the oscillation. That was the entire oscillation zone between the 10 simple moving average as well as that dynamic support. Fast forward to, well, this entire 6-month consolidation that we've all been in, even right here, right? This pretty much gave us all the tip in that, okay, prices closed underneath the 10 simple moving average, moved down where? Weekly dynamic support. This one even went on to tap the bi-weekly dynamic support. Okay, rallied. Now, today's, or rather last week's weekly close, we closed under the 10 simple moving average. So we've closed under the 10 simple moving average. We've opened clearly under the 10 simple moving average, right? So which is why, just based on the current signature that I'm seeing throughout the cycle, I think another tap at the weekly dynamic is going to be a high probability play. So I'll be looking for this. It's a minuscule sort of range at this point. And also for now, for those of you looking to build on the cycle, right? If you're still looking to build that Bitcoin position, I know right now, like, consider this, right? It's difficult. People seeing a dump, it's always difficult to build your positions when there's blood on the streets. It's very easy to say it, but, you know, in hindsight, when you look at something in hindsight, be like, oh, damn, I should have bought the dip. When you're there, witnessing the dip, going through the dip, it's difficult, right? Because it's not just price action that you're seeing on the chart. In hindsight, it's very easy to see only the price action. But when you're actually dealing with the dip, it's not just price. You're looking around you. You're looking at the world around you. You're looking at everyone's emotions around you. There's so much noise. Very little signal, a lot of noise. Right? And that's all affecting you in the moment. You're like, no, look at the war. Look at, people are bearish. People are this, people are that. There's so many reasons to not buy the blood. But the way I want you guys to approach this, though, is take solace in the fact that you're buying on a weekly support. Not a weekly support, that's weak. But it's a cyclical support. It's something that's been guiding the cycle so far, right? So what that means is that if prices break in the next, say, in 1 week, because we close a monthly candle in 1 week, that could be the tell, right? So we know that, okay, this is the range. This is your bull market cutoff. Let's call it the bull market cutoff. Okay, you know that, okay, Bitcoin slips into bear market territory as soon as we lose this range. Okay, buying anywhere close to this is going to be good. Now, I would personally gun for bottom of the dynamic or even the entire objective range from, say, 95K going all the way down to 92K. That would be a freaking gift. But yeah, getting this, consider how close you are to the entire bull market cutoff. Right? So, sorry, let me just get my scale. Even if we get the bottom of the dynamic to the bull market cutoff, it's 10%. Yeah, 10% drop. But even considering that you're going to be building your position on there throughout that entire range, it would be a rather easy one to manage, contingent on you having a handle over your position size. Okay, at that point, position sizing is going to be everything. Understand that you're playing it for the cycle, so your risk management needs to be on point. Now, for those of you in the Mango Seed program, you guys have the entire risk management system that's going to help you put in all of these variables in so that it gives you the right risk parameters, your position size, everything. okay, based on your risk tolerance. So for those of you in there, use that. There are a lot of new seedlings out there, so I want you guys to start getting used to pulling up the sheet every time you're putting in a position. And you got to be honest with yourself. All right, if you're trading for the trend, okay, if you're trading for the long term, you're trading for the next 6 months, you're like, no, for the next 6 months, I think the bull market still stays intact, then position for that. And be honest with yourself. Write it down. All right. If you're trading for the swing, then understand that you're trading for the swing. Write that down, position for that. And believe me or not, your position sizing and your risk parameters changes based on what you're playing for. Okay, in fact, even your, for me at the very least, my time frame changes as well. Dominic says, when you are in the dip, you are sure that you will get in the dip inside of the dip. And either it moves around and you miss your bid, or you catch the falling knife and still get invalidated. Yeah, that happens quite a bit, eh? And you always feel like the one time I catch the dip, watch prices break. You know, I think we've all gone through that. The one time you catch the dip, that's when prices just like shit the bed. But you got to take the trade, because for the one time you miss it on the system, that could be the one time that gets you that crazy freaking win. All right, you got to take every tap of your system, every entry of your system, you got to take it. That's how you can really, really test out the efficacy of it. Right? Because for the one time you miss that trade, the one time you miss the entry on the system, that might be the winner. But you've missed it. So okay, so now I've shown you why I believe that we could get another tap on the weekly dynamic because of the signatures so far. If we close over the 10 simple moving average, then okay, I don't think we come back down for another tap. But if we get rejected off the 10 simple, we could do something like this. Going up and down. All right, so now this is Bitcoin for you guys. Also, just a quick show, Bitcoin, before I jump into XRP, and then we'll do ADA. Bitcoin dominance, guys. Bitcoin dominance looks absolutely spectacular. Now, this is another thing with Bitcoin dominance. You know, when Bitcoin dominance goes up, it's not necessary that Bitcoin dominance is going up because Bitcoin is going up. Bitcoin dominance can go up because Bitcoin has dumped less than your altcoins. And that's what happened this time around. Bitcoin dumped less than the altcoins around it. Okay, this is another way in which Bitcoin dominance can go up. So now we're seeing this tick up even more. Seems like a breakout move to me. 71 percentile, maybe? Well, we can get it. We can get it. Look at it. If you're just playing pure TA, just all biases aside, let's face it, the next major target on this is 71%. This can very well go up. So what does this mean for you, for those of you trading the altcoins? And the altcoins have been a very brutal market this time, right? It's been a brutal is an understatement. But Bitcoin dominance is literally telling you what's been winning the entire time, and it's been Bitcoin. Since the very beginning right here, since the cycle began, Bitcoin has been the winner. And right now, dominance is really literally telling you that it is going to continue to remain the winner until this chart turns. And right now, we have no signal of it turning. How did that you mean MSTR? Pirate Justin? You know, I was looking at TRADFI, by the way, just quick cursory things. Sorry guys if I'm all over the place. I mean, so SPY hasn't opened just yet, right? But look at this. I'm very curious as to how this opens. markets look great getting into the weekend. It's always that weekend price action that just really just gets everyone. Like, for Pete's sake, haven't we had enough? But yeah, this is this is Nasdaq as well. This is SPY looking friggin' amazing. Everything looks amazing, right? So should you be getting spooked out here? No. No. The answer to that is no. You should not be getting spooked out. Now, speaking of XRP, now this was the major thing. I just posted a picture on Discord. If you're not in the Discord chat, join in. themangoway.com/Discord. I've been looking at the weekly dynamic on XRP. Now, as far as this weekly stands, well, we've lost that weekly dynamic support, right? So what does this mean? Do we get bearish here? Well, we were looking at the weekly dynamic, okay? And the last time we lost the weekly dynamic, I actually sold a bit of my position, if you guys remember. I had to get back in. I was forced back into my position as soon as we reclaimed those regions of support that were once lost, right? So, but I'm like, okay, I'm getting back in. But this time around, okay, on the loss, can I exit? Should I exit? Has it broken the system? No. This time is different. This time is different. Okay, but what's going on? Why is it different? Because yes, we've lost that weekly dynamic. Okay, now what is confirmation for a loss of the weekly dynamic? It's not just one candle. I want to see 2 candle closes. But in addition to that, it's not a complete violation of our system. Because yes, we were looking at the weekly dynamic indicator, to keep us on the right side of the cycle. But in addition to that, there was one critical region of support that I've been harping on about now since even before we got up there, okay, before it even flipped into support. And it was this, $2.01. Okay, we've been looking at this entire range of oscillation for XRP, and throughout this entire range for the past 6-7 months now, it's just been oscillating in this range. 286 down to 201 with a midpoint coming in at 240. All right, but that 201, if there's any level that's held like a dream, it's 201. All right, and we're still holding it, okay? This candle, this weekly opened over $2.01. The previous one, which sort of forced me out of my trade, not only lost that weekly dynamic, it lost $2.01 as well. So it lost my weekly dynamic system, it lost my support as well. Dashboard looked like, I'm not gonna say it. Dashboard looked like crap, but okay, yeah. Right now, XRP on the dashboard, we got shorts across the board. 4 hours telling us that, okay, 95% on the 4 hour, okay, when volatility gets high, when volatility gets too high, it's telling you that, okay, the bears might be reaching a zone of exhaustion. Okay, when bears get exhausted, who takes over? The bulls. The bulls are able to fight back. Okay, so we're seeing a bit of a pump right now. We're seeing that actually reflect on the chart as we speak on the lower time frames. So yeah, we could see another minor rally right here. But once again, I cannot possibly drop the position considering system holds. Okay, system holds. If on the next weekly open, getting even into the monthly open, we manage to reclaim that weekly dynamic resistance now, that's going to be a show of strength in my opinion. Okay, the range comes in from 214 down to 207. That's your range. All right, and for those of you looking, now we have the objective zone right here on 207. I want to see this. Yeah, by the time we get up here, I can totally see daily dynamic moving down. Even reclaiming that daily dynamic would likely line up with reclaiming the weekly dynamic as well. So that'll be good. And notice, ever since the breakdown right here, okay, this is the daily time frame, dynamic has been used as resistance on every single tap. Literally gave everyone the tell. Look at this candle. Look at that wick. When you see shadows that long, okay, what is that telling you as a trader? When you see shadows this long, okay, price got all the way up there, and there was so many cells just lined up, okay, that literally just sold off. It sold off more than half the candle right there. That's telling you immense sell pressure coming in on those candles. Those are all little minor signals, especially for those of you actually trading the swings on the daily. these are good set of signals to fall back onto. When you see the long shadows, okay, pay attention to those on the upside and on the downside. MSTY sells covered calls on MSTR. Oh. So it's like a derivative of MSTR. Gotta love the financial world. There's just so much engineering going on. There's so many wires just plugged in everywhere. Shannon Brimlow says, XRP holding, little sick of all these black swans, but hey, I know, right? It's actually been a really, it's weird. You know, when you look at the chart, it's telling you that this might have been the easiest cycle, but going through the motions of every single consolidation, every single dump, has been freaking crap. Like, it's been the hardest one thus far. Like, we haven't, like, considered it. I was telling Sean this. I'm like, the year hasn't even ended. You know, and it's already been, like, a crazy freaking year. It's been insane. There's always something, and it's always like, it's always really fueled in emotion, and even it's just spilling on over to the environment, you know? But like I said, the worst is to be wrong about how shit is gonna unfold in your environment, and also to be wrong on price action, to be wrong on your trades. Because you're wrong on the outside world and you're not even making any money, right? That's the worst. That's always the freaking worst. Which is why, just, guys, price is king, okay? Price is freaking king. Do not fade the chart. I don't care what the noise is outside, what crypto Twitter is telling you, what you're seeing on the news, what you're seeing anywhere else. It doesn't freaking matter, okay? Even what Polymarket is telling you, it doesn't freaking matter. Okay, none of it freaking matters. What matters is on your screens, because who knows, if someone knows something that you don't know, what are they gonna do? Are they gonna just sit on it? No, it's gonna hit the chart. You're gonna find out by it hitting the chart. You don't know what it is, but it's gonna hit the chart. Okay, this is where that news drops first. So don't fade the price action. Right now, price, even on XRP, is telling us, okay, there's nothing to be spooked out about. Right? Yeah, we're close to those critical regions of support, but still not enough to get spooked out about. All right, so that's your 201, XRP looking good. If we can even hold a monthly here, I'd consider that a win. A bigger win for the monthly open for the month of July is going to be us closing over $2.40. If we close over $2.40, I'm going to consider that a huge win for XRP. All right, if we close over 201 instead, that's also still going to be rather decent. I believe that we're going to start seeing another tick to the upside back up to 240, and maybe, hey, if things just go smoothly for a change, 286 and even higher. All right, but right now, not the time to get spooked out on XRP. Now with this, let's get on to ADA. ADA folk, I hope you guys are still here. Oh man, you know what's sucky about ADA is that it was actually, I don't want to call it sucky, but rather what's unfortunate about ADA is that it was actually holding like for the longest time, right? It was holding like the weekly support, the monthly supports especially for like the longest time. And just very recently, it sort of gave in. All right, I'm just going to get rid of, yeah, see, I even had zones marked out here. Jeez Louise. Loss of weekly on ADA is usually always the tell, but I want to get on over to the monthly time frame because I, for one, I was looking at the monthly time frame. I was looking at this entire beautiful structure that I'd actually drawn out for all of you right here, right? I was looking at this, and this was the breakout move, but clearly there was no continuation, so this has now gotten invalidated. I want you guys to understand that, right? However, let's now move back on over to the structure. Don't just, if you really have to prioritize structure and patterns, okay, between these two, structure comes first, patterns come second. Okay, your structure is way more important than the patterns. All right. For structure, what is it that you're looking for to still remain bullish? Now, right now, I need you guys to understand that the lower time frame trend is bearish. Okay, call a spade a spade. This is a downtrend. Okay, there is no uptrend here. This is a clear downtrend. However, now for those of you playing the downtrend, good for you guys. You're on the right side of the downtrend here. However, for those of you playing the macro, you're holding ADA. Okay, for the cycle, what's going on with you guys? How should you be looking at this? If you are playing any cyclical trend, I don't care what it is, which coin, which asset, whether TRADFI, whether crypto, doesn't matter. It's the same principles throughout the board, across the board, is you're looking at, you want to look at your higher time frames. Okay, I'm talking about your monthly, I'm talking about your bi-weeklies, I'm talking about your weeklies, your high time frames. And you want to establish if we got an uptrend on there. All right, do we have an uptrend on ADA here? What is this? Is this an uptrend or is it a downtrend? It's an uptrend, okay? It's an uptrend. It's been a brutal uptrend. It's not been as simple as, hey, we're just gonna go on to put in these higher highs, and when the lows come in, it's just gonna be the minor pullbacks. It's like, to really put it in like text, it would be Cardano always takes 3 steps forward and 2 steps back. That's been its uptrend. Or more like 3 steps forward and 2.5 steps back. Right? That's been ADA's uptrend for everybody. But it's still, I'd consider this a structure that's that's trying to establish higher highs and higher, not trying, it has been establishing higher highs and higher lows. All right, we had the first low coming right here, bear market low, September 2023, high, higher low, apologies, higher high. This is your next higher low, okay, on this structure. Now, as far as this weekly is in a downtrend. There is no, I'm not gonna paint this as another picture, okay? This is currently trying to establish a downtrend. I believe that ADA taking out these lows, we could still see a bit lower. I won't be surprised if we tap 45 cents at that point. Okay. This is it. For people playing the short on ADA, there is you can play the swings, okay, on the shorts. I think that's a good play. But it's only, I personally would only play the swings. If you're going long on ADA, you're buying ADA. I, for one, am not trading this leverage. Spot positions would be, if you're looking to build your spot position, then yeah, might be a good, it's good to sort of consider the spots when you can see that the monthly is still putting in that uptrend. However, I'd say because of the entire, what's the word I'm looking for? Not structure. Structure is the wrong word. But because of the sentiment around ADA, okay, people, I get it. You know, the Cardano has actually had it really, really tough. It's been a very strong community throughout years now. And I can see them getting into, people, even the strong hodlers, are probably getting into this phase of just, I want to rip the Band-Aid off, right? If they're getting to that phase, and just based on that sentiment, to capitalize on that sentiment is to, in a way, get greedy on it. So I say, if you're looking to still DCA into ADA, okay, on the cycle plays, you want to gun for the lower bids. Now, right now, the objective zone around the dynamic says you are currently on a bid zone at 50 cents. Breaking 50 cents is going to take it down to 45 cents. Okay. However, if you're someone who just wants to stay safe, and you're like, no, I'm so fed up of waiting on ADA, you know, screw this cycle, screw it. It's too much opportunity cost. I'll look at it, but I'll just wait for the uptrend to begin. For you guys, just keep it as simple as this. Reclaim weekly dynamic resistance, get back in. Okay, it's been a very, very, literally, I've gone over this in the previous Cardano video. Every time we reclaim that weekly dynamic resistance, it's been a rally. Okay, we had one right here on the beginning of the cycle, and we had one right here on the beginning of this cycle. Not this cycle, this move, this uptrend. Okay, reclaimed weekly dynamic resistance, made our way all the way up to $1.22. So if you just want to like keep it really easy and just not get cute catching the bottom on ADA, you just want to catch the meat of the move, Just wait for the weekly to get reclaimed again. It's as simple as that. Okay, but the monthly is still in the uptrend phase. For it to lose the uptrend phase, it literally has to lose this wick low right here, which comes in at around 28 cents. Holy shoot. Pirate Justin. That's like super late. But yeah, I'm gonna be wrapping up soon anyways. So that's totally fine. But we'll try and sort of capture this time zone as well, because we usually do our live streams much later in the day. Toronto, it's late in Toronto as well. Toronto 2020. Yeah, I'm on the edit of that one. Toronto 20. Okay, is there any other chart you guys want me to look at before I wrap? Ah, I see. Okay, let's do Sol. It's been a while. You know, from all the charts we looked at today, I don't like Sol. Is it just me? You see ADA had like it was a rough uptrend on the monthly, but it was an uptrend. Now, yes, it didn't do as much as Solana, I'll say that. But this looks like it wants to drop further. Monthly, this is a support it needs to hold right here. Okay, Solana not holding this support is gonna, we're tapping these lows once again. 85 and so $85.21. Considering that it's only 1 week until we open the brand new month of July. Okay, let's look at the monthly now. I think the monthlies, by the way, are going to be very, very important. We're literally 1 week out. So if there's any time frame you should be having one eye on, it's the monthly time frame. Okay, monthly, it needs to hold this entire range. Okay, from 128 down to 105. I do not want to see the monthly taking out this wick low right here. Hell, even coming down to 105, I don't think is going to be a good look. But yeah, taking out this low right here on the monthly is sealed. At that point, Sol comes down even lower. Right? However, on the flip side, if the monthly closes over, it's this level right here actually. No, I'll be fair. 125. Keep it at 125. If the monthly closes over 125, we're good to go. 1 week, guys. Don't overcomplicate it getting into the monthly close. It's just stupid. You get the most information on the monthly closes. Okay, the bang for your buck information on the monthly closes every single time. So don't fade the monthly close, and especially if you're so close. We're so close. We have to wait for literally 1 week for the next month, right? Don't fade the monthly closes. Right now, this is the range that Solana needs to hold. If we can hold 125 getting into the month, good stuff. Okay, we'll do the last one is ALGO. Oof. Okay. ALGO is like 3 steps forward, 3 steps back. Nah. It's holding a very, very shallow uptrend. A very shallow uptrend. This looks like it wants to come down even further, likely down to 12 cents. We lose these lows right here. It's dropping further. This is not a good chart. These charts tend to be opportunity cost. So with charts like ALGO, you're better off waiting for the uptrend to start before actually allocating. It makes no sense catching a falling knife. You do not know where it ends. If you think prices stop here and it doesn't go down lower, prices can always go down lower. Even when we have a raging bull market, there are going to be these certain coins that just end up being losers in that they don't even keep up with the bull run. Now they'll have like these okay uptrends, but nothing in line with what the rest of the market is doing. So you don't never want to be stuck in those because it's opportunity cost. Right now, ALGO, like I said, ALGO is like 3 steps forward, 3 steps back. So, meh. No. So for ALGO to really begin its uptrend, honestly, just wait for a takeout of 30 cents. Don't get cute trying to catch, guys. Okay, here's one departing note for all of you. Don't get cute catching the bottoms on any of these coins, especially the altcoins. Right now, Bitcoin dominance. I mean, you've seen the chart on Bitcoin dominance, right? BTC is freaking ripping right now, telling you where the money's at, right? It's not time for the altcoins just yet. When it's time, we'll come out here and tell you when it's time, okay? There's a chart that I'm looking at. I brought up in the previous live stream as well. We're not there yet, all right? So allocating in here and trying to catch the bottoms is just silly, right? You're better off allocating your capital to something that is actually looking strong and there is a higher probability of more upside. That's a better allocation of your capital. Right now, the altcoins, don't go catching the bottoms. So wait for the trend to begin, okay? And catch the meat of the move. That's much better than sitting in a coin that could very well be opportunity cost. It's just not worth it. Alrighty. So yeah. Wolvie, you just joined in. Okay. Yeah, I started the stream a tad bit early. I was giving you props, by the way, for being completely in the zone. I know we've been talking about it, but no, once again, I think in the previous live stream you mentioned Bitcoin triggered your system, which then prompted me to go and look at my chart and look at my system. I'm like, damn, it did. Which is also then what prompted me to do the video on don't let this fake you out. So, yeah. And that's technically all it takes, that one trader that's in your community who's in the zone. Now, Wolvie has been in the zone on these, on the swings, on the altcoins as well. Sean has been in the zone throughout the entire cycle. He's been calling like the most absurd numbers. As in the most, not absurd numbers, but the most absurd, unlikely moves that just end up happening. So, yeah. You guys have been on fire. Just hitting my mic now. But yeah, you guys can we'll continue the conversation in the Discord chat now. But thank you. Look at the bearishness at 100k. I know, right? People are so bearish here. And that's the thing, it's the noise. I think it's honestly the noise around us right now. There's too much noise. You know, usually when it's just price action, you'll make excuses for it. But it's easy to make excuses for it. But when there's price action and there's noise to support that, like, consider this, okay? I'll be honest with you guys. Let's really face it. When price came down to 40k, like right here, this was the previous bull market, my parents were calling up and saying that, oh, should we be buying Bitcoin? Should we be buying Ethereum? Should we be buyers? Nobody wants to buy shit right now. Everyone's just in despair. And consider that this was a freaking cycle-ending move. That dump was 56% from wick to wick. 56%. And people wanted to buy the dip. This barely even moved. It's not even halfway through the previous month. Okay? And look at the despair. This is bullish. This isn't bearish. Buy the dip. Hey, anytime, Toronto 2020. But yeah, I think we could get that tap at 97k. And then we could see a bounce. It's gonna be like, it's gonna be like this. Okay, maybe not that. Okay, Krisha, just calm down. Okay, maybe like this. That'd be nice, eh? What was your target, Wolvie? $96? $92? What? Come on now. I mean, we still could, though. I think we still could. But that would be a little... No, we still could. I want to see a good monthly close, man. I don't know about you guys. I want to see a good monthly close. If we can close over 102.5, I'd consider that very, very good. But now there is still a bit of uncertainty, and for as long as there's uncertainty, we're going to see a bit more volatility on the downside. Maybe even to the upside. So just eyes away from the news, away from the environment, away from sentiment in a way, eyes on the chart. So as far as sentiment is concerned, this is sentiment right here. Every candle is sentiment for you. These are buyers and sellers telling you how they're feeling. Okay, if they're feeling bullish, they're going to take it up. If they're feeling bearish, they're going to take it down. The smartest of the smartest traders right now, the ones with the biggest freaking bags of cash, they're all here. They might not be on Twitter. They might not be in your environment. They might be on another end of the world. But they're all going to be here with you on this chart. And they're going to tell you exactly how they're feeling. Okay, you don't have to go guessing. You can just look at the chart and you can just figure out how they're feeling. All right, this is the only barometer right here, price. Don't look at anything else. I know it's going to be hard. And if it gets hard, get into the Discord chat. We can have a conversation on this. All right, but I hope you guys enjoyed today's live stream. I will now see you all in the Discord chat. Bye, bye, bye. Justin says, bye, bye, bye. That's right, bye, bye, bye. With this, trade safely, trade stress-free, trade the mango way, trade the easy way. Ciao, you guys.